Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil. So if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Also, if you would like to save 10% with gamer subs on your next order, use code Tommy at checkout or click the link down below. I want to force people to be vegan. It's the only way we could ever have any hope achieving animal liberation. Okay, right off the top of the head, I don't like it already. I like meat. All of the information is out there. The messed up stuff we do to animals, how to go vegan, the science that shows that we don't need animal corpses and secretions, and that a whole food plant-based diet is actually more beneficial for health and the environment. And we have distributed this information time and time again. Most people don't give a single mess. They laugh and make the same tired, freaking stupid jokes about their suffering. They make any excuse they can to keep enjoying the taste of flesh. Even though vegan food is delicious too. They don't actually care about their health, and don't realize how close the climate catastrophe is. All of the activism is for nothing. So much input and so little output. While we are wasting our time and energy, we are failing the animals. I'm tempted to sit and protest in Washington, D.C., or some stuff, and not move until a plan is made to end animal agriculture and all other industries that profit off of the exploitation and the redacted. Or at least until they stop doing this subsides from the government. Stop using the my money to give the animal tormentors handouts. People will complain. Boo-hoo, wah, wah. Isn't that exactly what you're doing? Who cares? Screw them. And I actually don't care that much if I die, because a world where there is no hope and people won't stop doing that to animals is a world I don't want to live in. So you mean to tell me that you don't want anybody doing anything involving animals that involves anything that you happen to be doing, but at the same time, how do you think you'll be able to get anything regarding clothes unless you go with a vegan material such as vegan leather? That cloth, that's cotton. That usually comes from either animal labor, picking it in the fields, or shearing it from animals. And yes, actually, lambs very much do appreciate getting sheared, as it has been actually proven. So God forbid nobody wants to actually go... So God forbid there are people out there that don't exactly have ideals that line up with yours to the absolute T that you prefer. What do you want to also bet that this is the unfortunately ever so lovely person who would call the cops on the neighbors because they can't stand the smell of them happen to be using the grill for anything other than frickin' vegetables? Seriously, you'll have this nut like this that is this level of extreme vegan and driving around in a regular car not knowing that their leather upholstery is, lo and behold, not vegan. I, 22M, drunkenly confess to my best friend's 22M girlfriend, 21F, that I've been in love with for years. How do I fix it? My best friend, 22M, and me, 22M, have known each other since we were 16. He was an exchange student in my school. We didn't talk much about personal life at the time, as he was quite reserved. I found out that he had a girlfriend, 21F, 1 year into the friendship, when he told me that she was coming to visit. And it turns out that he was in a relationship with a girl from his home country for quite a while, and they were doing long distance. She spent the entire summer here, and he introduced her to the friend group. She is shy and quite reserved as well. So, at first, I just saw her as my best friend's girlfriend, but ended up getting quite close. Me, my best friend, and her have a lot of interests in common, so the three of us would go out a lot. Looking back, I think I already had some feelings for her at the time, but didn't notice. She went back at the end of summer, and I didn't see her again for basically a year, but I would constantly find myself thinking about her. After high school, my friend decided to go to college here, so his girlfriend moved here too, and started going to his college. We hang out together again, and I started to fall hard. I swear I wouldn't act upon it, as he was my friend, and she never seemed to have any feelings for me. But for these past 4 years, my feelings just seem to intensify. I did everything I could think of to get over it. I distanced myself from them for a time, but it didn't help. I got myself a girlfriend, now ex, but both of us knew the relationship would not last. We just didn't love each other, and all I could think of was my friend's girlfriend and how much I wanted to be with her. She is the kindest person I know. She always helps out people around here. She's very attentive, considerate, smart, and really pretty. When we talk about our past/childhood, my friend always has amazing stories about them. And she just seems like the perfect girlfriend. When me and my ex-girlfriend broke up some months ago, both of them, my friend and his girlfriend, started to call me to hang out a lot, trying to cheer me up. And last time I drank too much and ended up being a big a-hole. Now, I know this will sound awful, but in these past years, I would sometimes get very jealous of them, and have some pretty bad thoughts about my friend. He was never a manly man. He has long hair, uses clothes that could pass as women's, and was always very sentimental. So, while drunk, I just voiced these thoughts. I told him that she shouldn't be with him, and that she would be happier with a real man, and that if they ever broke up, I would be there. I don't even remember their faces as I said that, and I just remember him screaming at me. That was more than a month ago, and I just can't get in touch with him. I tried meeting him in person to apologize, and he just ignored me. I went to talk with her too to apologize for saying those things. She was nice, but way more distant than she usually is. I guess she ended up feeling pity for me because at the end of the conversation, she started to give me advice. She told me although my friend was mad, it doesn't mean it is irreparable. That I should give him some time for him to cool off. That she understands that I just had a bad breakup and got confused. And that loneliness can mess up with people. But the problem was my bad and disrespectful comments. She thinks that all of this happened because of my breakup, but it couldn't be farther from the truth. The whole relationship just happened because I was trying to get over her. I don't know if my friend thinks the same or if he knows that I like her. On the good side, she said it didn't mess up with their relationship. I mean, there was a single time I hung out with her without him, and I was almost always the one to reach out and start the conversations with her, so I figured I wouldn't. But I don't know what to do now. How can I fix this? They are my closest friends, and I can't believe it's all ruined because of a drunk rant. I just want things to go back to how it was. TLDR, got drunk and confessed to my best friend's girlfriend, whom I've been in love with for the last 4 years. Now he won't speak to me, but I don't want to lose her friendship, or their friendship. Best advice is to take her advice. What she said kinda tracks, actually. And definitely work on getting over the feelings of liking her, because yeah, I know it kinda sucks, but you have to really think about it. You almost lost both your best friend and another friend you had, which was the significant other of one of your best friends. So I kind of think now that you sense you have that feeling of, oh crap, I've lost this, you might make a bit more of an effort to not mess up again. I, 32M, cheated on my partner, 31F, after 16 years together. I want to go to counseling. She won't talk to me. What do I do? Burner account. Warning, this is a long and convoluted story. I'll try to keep things organized chronologically, so let's start from the beginning. I grew up in a broken family. At around 8 or 9, my parents divorced, leaving my mother, myself, and younger brother to be the second such broken family in the water of my father's actions. We have 3 half-siblings from his previous wife, who he married and divorced twice. Needless to say, not a great model for healthy relationships. So, naturally, this set me up for success. Not in my early relationships. My first few girlfriends broke up with me, and this felt like the end of the world. Unrealized abandonment issues became deep wounds. At 16, I found a partner that I just thought was the one. In the mind of a 16-year-old hell-bent on not becoming his father, this seemed like the best course of action. Stick with this person no matter what, because promises made at the age of 16 should last a lifetime. Fast forward 4 years, we see you both in college. I'm starting to not necessarily resent the relationship, but I'm feeling distance for the first time. And I start to wonder what else is out there. We break up, probably not in the most healthy or amicable way, because we were still teenagers essentially. I explore a couple of different relationships, mostly casually and sexual, and she does not. After a while, 8 months or so, I start to pursue mending the relationship, and she takes me back. We make it another 6 years or so. But in that time, we both graduate college. She moves away halfway across the US. Both of our families are in one state, and I am now forced to stay near family or move to maintain the relationship. I chose to move about 8 months after she does. Distance sucked. In that time, however, she hid a friendship from me where she had a guy over a few times. She sent explicit pictures to her, and she maintained the friendship casually through texts and stuff, and after I found out, she never cut ties or blocked him or anything. After a year or two after my move, I decided to go back to school. I made a friend that my partner was immediately jealous of, but she was someone I helped tutor, and I tried to maintain healthy boundaries. This didn't work. We never did anything, but there was obvious tension between us, and this created a rift in my current relationship. I cited previous issues within our relationship as reasoning for why I wasn't going to cut this person out, similarly to how my partner never cut the aforementioned guy out. Well, this didn't go well. We tried counseling a couple of times, but neither of us wanted to hear our faults described to us by each other, and this lasted for maybe 2 sessions. I ended up cutting this other person out anyways, and our relationship healed, and we moved on. We got a new apartment, picked out a puppy together, and used these as salves for the wound. A wound we never discussed or truly addressed. But I guess that's why they say hindsight is 20/20. Additionally, I'll add in that finances kind of started to peek into the pictures at the point of contention in the relationship. I didn't take a job a while back in school so I could focus on academics. I borrowed the max loan amount each semester so I could still contribute to rent, banking that on the back end I would just pay off the student loan debt once I started working, and the difference would be negligible if I could just contribute to rent and expenses. Well, I paid my half in rent, still took us out to eat occasionally, and carried a balance on my credit card. Again, I'm like, I can handle this once I'm making money, but this doesn't sit well with my partner. She's always been savings-oriented, and the weight of her nagging, her judgment, and her expectations just started to wear on me. Fast forward again, 2 years pass. I'm working, making about $100K. We are buying a house, and boom, more trauma. My brother, 29-year-old, wrecks his motorcycle and is left quadriplegic. I take 2 months to travel home. Partner comes with me, and we spend 23 days with brother in the ICU, watching him suffer and wish for death, hallucinate, and go through ICU delirium, and the realization that he'll never walk or use his arms again. You'll think maybe my partner and I would bond over this, come together over trauma. No, neither of us sought help. We both slipped into our own versions of depression. I poured myself into my family, trying to save what I could of my brother. My mother and father became his primary caregivers, and I spent each day wondering about them and neglecting myself and my partner. A rift grew and grew that we never acknowledged. I returned to work, and at the start of the following year, a month or 2 after the accident, we hire a new female counterpart to my position, and I am to train her for the next 3 months. Oh no, because she's gorgeous. and intelligent and funny, and completely unattached to the recent trauma. So, I have someone to confide in because I'm still having breakdowns regularly over the stress of trying to hold my family together and preserve my brother's mental health. So, I cry to this woman. I bond with her. We make each other laugh harder than ever before. We talk about the ease and the depths of our immediate connection. Oh, did I mention she's recently engaged and the wedding is only a few months away? So we are already across many boundaries. We have lunches together, we text constantly, we start calling each other on our way home from work, and she tells me she told a close friend of hers that she's starting to fall for me. I'm already head over heels. Things reach a boiling point a few times when our obvious sexual chemistry just crescendos. We get too close to one another at the end of a long workday and brush up against each other, and we nearly cross physical boundaries a few times too many. The next month, she is married, and a week after that, she returns from the brief vacation/long wedding week and weekend, and we are touching each other again. There's obviously something there, but we haven't kissed. We haven't done anything other than brush against each other or put hands on the other. Another month passes, and my brother commits, and I swear a piece of me dies with him. I confide more in the other woman than I do in my fiancé. Forgot to mention that I got engaged 1 year before the accident. And at this time, we are spending our lunches every day together, and calling each other on our ways to and from work. Home life is strange. Neither my fiancé or I really talk about the loss of my brother without the fear of just dragging the other back into grief. And we don't seek professional help once again. Well, I guess I try to, but after 4 really awfully guided sessions, I ditched the therapist because she couldn't even remember my brother's name. So I give up on dealing with my grief healthily once more. Meanwhile, I'm having panic attacks, anxiety, and also lying to my fiancé about the other woman. Anyways, fast forward another 5 months, and despite trying so hard to maintain some semblance of boundaries, the other woman and I kiss, under the guise of, we both need this for closure. We kiss and then never stop kissing. A week later, she climbs into my lap at work and tells me to do stuff. So the affair truly begins. We start doing this at work every week. We start meeting up with her after work at my house once a month when my fiancé is away, and this lasts about 3 months. On a Sunday after we meet up, my fiancé goes through my phone and finds evidence that we met up that day. And as one could imagine, this does not go well. It hasn't been more than a couple of weeks. The other woman and I are blocked and cut out of each other's lives. My ex-fiancé moved most of her stuff out, but has not talked to me. She told all of our previously mutual friends her side of the story, and I have no contact with her at all. I have been pleading with her mother and her sister to get her to talk. I have spent the past couple of weeks in therapy nearly constantly, writing and talking about my thoughts. As unhinged and stream of consciousness as they may be, I have uncovered a lot of repressed resentment and anger towards her. A lot of things we have both done wrong for years and years. I don't know if we can be together again, but at the very least, I want to heal. I want closure. I want to apologize. At the very least, I want to speak my truth and try to work through as much as possible. She's been an entire half of my life, and I hers. I told her mother I want to pay for couples counseling. Even if we don't mend the relationship, I think we both need a safe space to work through this. What do I do? I don't exactly know what you can do, dude, but I'm gonna wish you the best of luck, and, whatever consequences do happen, you kinda have things folding out because of your own personal actions. You didn't have to hook up with the office lady, but you did, and instead of going to your fiancé after everything that happened with your brother, you decided to confide in the person that you were cheating on your fiancé and wife with. Yeah, you did a grand old job on that one, dude. But that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys would like to, also be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. If you want to see another video right about now, we got an end card with a playlist with a whole bunch of more stuff like this that you might just like. But with that, I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!